Mazda 3 is a really interesting car because it's a compact, normal car, but it has always been sort of an enthusiast choice. Other competitors have their high-end performance versions, but the Mazda 3 has always had a reputation of being a little more driver-focused at every level in the lineup, all the way down to the base model. Every version is designed with extra attention paid to steering and driving character. The Mazda 3 was redesigned in 2019, and I've really wanted to drive one and shoot one since then because I think the styling is phenomenal. But I haven't had a chance to until this year, which coincidentally is when they've offered a more powerful turbocharged all-wheel drive version. This version is the 2.5 turbo all-wheel drive hatchback, and this one is equipped with the Premium Plus package. So let's talk about that additional performance, which is the biggest change for this model year. First, I need to address the elephant in the room. I think everyone else that has reviewed the Mazda 3 2.5 Turbo has gone out of their way to say this is not the successor to the Mazda Speed 3. The Mazda Speed 3 was a wild 263 horsepower turbo hot hatch offered from 2007 to 2013 with explosive power delivery but not a lot of refinement. The 2.5 Turbo has a completely different character from that car. The new Mazda 3 Turbo has 250 horsepower and 320 foot-pounds of torque if you're using 93 octane. This powertrain enhances the driving experience so that it always has more than enough power for any situation, and with the iActive all-wheel drive system and torque vectoring, it always has plenty of traction and grip. It's a refined powertrain to give you a refined driving experience. It's not slow, but it's not necessarily fast. At highway speeds, you can really feel the benefit of the turbo, but at low speeds or off the line, you might not notice as much punch. Unlike the base model, the turbo engine is not available with a manual, so you get a 6-speed automatic that probably has a trademarked marketing name that I'm not particularly inclined to look up right now. Okay, it's called SkyActiv Drive 6-speed Sport Mode AT. If I don't sound blown away by the performance, that's not a bad thing. This car just handles itself without drama and drives pretty effortlessly. It's responsive and has good steering feel and does everything you ask. So the interior, especially trimmed in red, is a really nice place to be, and it feels upscale and well made. The front seats are really comfortable. I was really impressed with them even though they don't look particularly sporty or exciting. The cargo capacity in the hatch is big enough for my photo gear, but not huge, but you wouldn't expect it to be that spacious just from how it looks on the outside. The back seat is surprisingly big for a small hatchback, but if you're buying this car, you're probably only going to be regularly using the front seat. Rear visibility is not very good, and the gas tank is pretty small, with a capacity of just 12.7 gallons. It's rated at 23 city and 31 highway, which is pretty good, but you're still going to be at the pump a lot, and every single time you're going to deal with this flexing fuel door, which presses in on the whole panel around it and feels and looks pretty bad. Aside from the limited fuel range, this is practically speaking a really good grand touring car, kind of a modern interpretation of a GT, with good turbocharged power delivery on the highway and a comfortable driver-focused interior. I have wanted to photograph the Mazda 3 since it was released, but I haven't had the chance. I photographed the Mazda CX-30, which is similar, uses the same design language, but it's taller, it has extra cladding. And my gripes with that were that the cladding covers up some of those surfaces, which diminishes this light bending property of the surfacing. When I look at this, when I look at the way that the surface bends the light, I just find it so mesmerizing. I think it is masterful design, to be honest. There's really nothing else like this. Other cars might have some of the same properties where you kind of almost get like a tension and release of surface highlights, but universally on those other cars, it is always undermined by intersecting creases or kick-ups or light catchers or little things that are just trends. To me, it shows huge confidence to make something so unadorned and pure. There are a lot of visual design cliches in other cars on the market right now, and the Mazda 3 is refreshingly devoid of most of them. Getting away from the surfacing itself, the proportions are definitely polarizing, and it's very weird and bold for a small hatch. Gordon Murray once said that a car should never have equal length front and rear overhangs, and the Mazda 3 passes that test with a kind of long front and very short rear overhang. Mazda loaned this car to me for a week, and I really enjoyed seeing it and shooting it in different locations and times just to see how the surface reacted to light. At times it almost felt like I was shooting an object rather than just a car, because it reacts to light so differently from any car I can remember shooting. The headlights and taillights look high quality, and the chrome trim provides a contrasting accent to the form. All of this reinforces Mazda's efforts to position this as a more premium compact vehicle. So what does all this premiumness cost you? The 2022 Mazda 3 2.5 Turbo all-wheel drive hatchback with the Premium Plus package costs $34,400. On top of that, there's the polymetal gray paint, which is $396, and then delivery, processing, and fees, bringing it to $35,810. If you don't need the turbo or all-wheel drive, or you do want a manual transmission, there are other trim levels below that. And that concludes my thoughts on the Mazda 3. I really like this car. This is something that I could see potentially as a replacement to my Lexus Sport Cross, and I am eager to see where Mazda evolves this design language and where that goes. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.